Lakers and Zack Lavine going from Chicago to the Sacramento Kings. The pressure is now on the Milwaukee Bucks to make a move before Thursday's trade deadline. You can stay up to date on all things Milwaukee Bucks related over at ESPNWisconsin.com or right here on ESPN Madison. Milwaukee Bucks are in action tonight. Coverage will start at 6:30. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock against the Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC now 16.5-point favorites.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me. I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
See, we've talked about it. My husband is a Minnesota Viking, which means he's a troll.
Your husband signed off on this as a Vikings fan?
Do you think I take my husband's feelings into consideration about
It's
this?
his son. Maybe he wants him to be a Vikings fan.
I don't know, but basically we rode up to the Viking game last year, got sick. I get offended when he brings up Kay Adams. I get a little jealous. I get annoyed. I'm like, how come you listen to her show but not
You feel
mine?
like he's cheating on you feel like he's cheating on your sports talk?
Pretty much. It kind of bothers
Broadcasting
me.
live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Why am I talking so quiet, Matt Hamilton? He is Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. I've lowered my tone to start the show live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are on the ESPN Madison YouTube page, and that right there, the star of the show, one of the stars of the show, Olivia, has joined the show along with Molly Brown. Molly Brown in the Everlight Solar Studio. Welcome back to your show, Molly. Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Thank you.
For a segment or two, however long you want to hang out. Molly Brown is in the Everlight Solar Studio.
Nice little surprise on a Monday. Is today Monday?
Yes.
I don't know my days anymore at this point.
And
Sad
we
to be
have Matt
back.
Hamilton. I feel like it's Christmas and family has come home prime time. We were so bare at some point. It was just me for an hour last Monday. Last Monday prime time. It was just me in the Everlight Solar Studio.
Yeah.
Because nobody was around. I think we kept Christy Birdsall, who's in here as well, just so I didn't feel completely alone.
Yeah.
Just all by myself in here.
There were essentially 3 episodes of the Jump Around with Jim Rutledge last week.
Yes. So it's good to have both of you back. We are presented by Coors Light. Can we get a unison? If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light. Oh, feels good to be home.
I miss that so
much. It feels like you never left. You hit that right on time there, Molly Brown. Matt Hamilton's back. It's crazy here. But Molly, welcome.
Thank you.
What brings you to this neck of the woods?
You guys, actually.
Oh,
Literally
really?
nothing else. I didn't have anything planned in Madison today. I was just like, you know what? It's Monday. You guys were all here. I knew that you were back in town. Prime was here. So I was like, I'm going to come in. I got to show off the babies a little bit, and that's really it.
Fair enough. I know you've been listening a little bit, but I'm not sure if you catch the top of the hour all the time. You know, Jim is the whole time he's like, Molly is out with babies.
Yep, I hear it.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. So applicable. Now it's nice.
Now
to,
she's back with babies in
It's,
tow.
it's nice to put a face to the babies that were helping me just rack up all these bonus days against our maternity leave bet.
Yeah, and Matt, you wanted to be here, and you're so hell-bent on winning this bet, you went and lost this weekend just so you could be here on Monday.
Yeah, that's right. I felt like after winning 6 national championships in a row that I've played in, I felt like I should take one national championship win off so I can make sure Molly doesn't gain a day on me.
Right, and you wanted to see Molly, yeah.
No, it was more of the bet.
Okay.
I'm a competitive fella, and I had to choose which competition I'd rather win. And this one, I was like, you know what? Going to the World Championships or representing the United States or beating Molly Brown in a head-to-head attendance record, I'm going for that one.
I have a feeling I'll gain some momentum when I come back on March 4th because I don't take very many days off like you.
Well, I mean, maybe. We'll see. I'm going to have quite the lead built, so we'll see. You did choose the right time because I was gone a fair bit during your your maternity leave so far. But honestly, yeah, with not having any curling planned right now for April because I'm a loser, yeah, you might be in trouble now. If I'd have gone to the World Championships, I'd have been like, yeah, Molly might catch me.
So
but
you're
now,
you're not in Worlds at all?
well, no, there's still the mixed doubles
Drive it in.
Olympic trials.
Sorry, I'm
Coming
still
up.
learning curling.
Yes, so there's still a different the curling version where I play doubles with my sister. That we can still make the World Championships, and I still could be gone for like a week or two. That one's coming up though. That's the Olympic trials. That's in 2 weeks. So if I win that, I'll know if I'm going to the Olympics 1 year in advance.
Exciting.
So that could be fun.
Okay.
God help us if you don't do well in that.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. It's just seriously, it's kind of surreal. Like normally, like I said, as far as since I joined Team Schuster in 2014, so like 2015 and on, when we played in the national championships, I ended up as the world rep. So like my curling season went into April, starting in late August, going to April every year. Now, in theory, if I don't win this Olympic trial in 2 weeks, it'll be done in February. Like literally 3 months earlier than I'm used to being done curling. So it'll be quite the different season for me.
If you're just tuning in, Matt Hamilton's back, but nobody cares. The babies are here.
That's the big part.
Yes, Matt's rambling on and on while we hear Olivia coo in the background here. Molly Brown in the Everlight Solar
It just
Studio.
hurts not being the center of attention on my own show.
I know. Pre-show meeting, everyone's holding the babies and not Matt Hamilton.
I
Matt
know.
Hamilton needed some.
I'm
some
the one who
hold-
needed
yeah,
soothing.
Yes.
You needed a baba?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Carly and Holly are holding babies, and Matt's like, I am sad. Someone give me a hug.
Yeah.
No hugs around.
No hugs.
And so, Molly, your other baby is in the building then? Yes.
Like my toddler?
Luka? No, I mean Luka.
Oh, Luka. Yes. I'm a little
Not in LA?
confused. No. Not in LA. Not
Okay.
in LA. That was wild, though. Oh, my goodness. Alex G was supposed to be holding him. I don't know where he is now. So
You see
maybe
Alex-
it's just past the
Is it
baby.
nerve-wracking that Alex Hughes is sitting out there holding food and he was
I think I
last
see a
And
baby
where did
in
my
the
kid
stroller
go?
right
Right,
now. There's a baby in the stroller. I
Okay,
can
good.
see from here.
Good. Okay, yeah. And then my toddler is somewhere in Madison. I don't know. He did ride along with me and my husband, and then my husband was like, well, he's not going to last very long if you're going to hang out in the office. So I don't know where he took him, but yeah.
No. All right.
roaming the streets.
Roaming the streets of Madison.
Traded him for picks, obviously.
If you see
Player
a
to-
toddler walk around Madison, it might be Molly's. So
Maybe not.
He'll come back with Anthony Davis instead.
Yeah, so Molly, you have weird hours like the news. Like we're gonna get into that today,
Oh,
but
I saw the Luka news right away because
Yes.
it was like 11:30
I
at
should have
night.
texted you.
did you believe it?
Well, I actually saw it because I saw Tyrese Halliburton tweeted, "Did Shams?
Yeah.
Did Shams get hacked?" And I
Right.
was like, "What?" So then I go to his Twitter, and then I see it, and I was like, "Oh, no way!" But yeah, I was up at 11:15 or whenever it was, like tweeted. It was crazy.
I did. I was like, out of anyone, I felt like, well, you're curling. And I was
Yeah.
like, Prime might be awake. So I shot Prime the text when Shams then tweeted out, "I'm not hacked," which still says like someone I've been hacked. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But like,
right.
here's the trade. Because I was brushing my teeth and I was like, all right, I'll see what happens before I go to bed. And I'm like, well, now I'm up because I got to see, is this real? What's
Yeah.
going on? And
Well,
so.
Jim, I appreciate you not texting me, but I unfortunately did not have my phone on silent, and there is a group text for ESPN Madison that did blow up that night. So I got the news when that group chat went around, and I was like, well, I'm awake now. Let's look into this.
I have that on mute.
Yeah, I don't mute my friends.
I bet you Jim has our show one on mute.
No, it's honestly, it's just the sheer
That might be the only one he doesn't have on me.
Okay.
It's the sheer volume. I have my basketball one on mute too, because otherwise it's every 10 seconds. Like for Friday morning, it's in, out, in, out, in.
Yeah.
Like it's a million of these, and then you get one picture of a baby, and then you're gonna get a million. Jesse Nelson's sharing pictures of his dog. This is what we're doing now.
This is what the group
Yeah.
chat for work is for?
Yeah, what
his-
is this?
His dog's got a cone
My
on
dog
right now.
had an ear infection. I didn't shoot you guys a text saying she's all right. Is this,
But you could have.
I didn't tell you my kids had ear infections. They're doing better. Like, what's the line here? Like,
Did
separately.
the kids give the dog the ear
That was
infection?
my question. Is it infectious?
It is kind of funny because my wife had
Jump species?
This is before we went to Florida. My wife had to take the dog in with an ear infection, and then Rosie the same day. And then when we came back from traveling, we
Did they
foolishly
get the same drops?
no. We did not. For a dog, you squeeze like some sort of ooze into their ear, and it
Ew.
lasts for 2 weeks. Which is nice. It's like before you had to put it in every day. Now it's just like Squeeze it in 2 weeks, done.
Who's to say it
Kids,
wouldn't have worked on Rosie? I just think you know,
amoxicillin's still the go-to.
I mean, let's be real. Doctors, they're not here to fix you. They're here to treat you.
Oh, God.
All right, conspiracy.
Here we go.
You do have the voice for your crazy thoughts, I'll tell you that.
And the look.
Yeah, you're not quite tan enough, but let me tell you about how big government's coming to get your kids and they're going to give you amoxicillin because I am the healthiest man alive. Just ask my brainworm. So, like,
Importantness.
you do have the right voice for
Yeah,
it.
I'm on track.
You are absolutely on track for that.
Couple more conspiracy theory videos, and I think I'll get there.
You're not far away at all.
Yeah, I know. I just haven't been able to find any ivermectin, so
Fingers crossed.
fingers crossed. The next one I go to.
Is that performance enhancing, or can you do that with the Olympics?
Yeah, I don't know how a horse dewormer would work for my USADA, United States Anti-Drug Association testing would go.
Should look into that one.
Yeah, I should look into that.
Somalia, yeah, good. Happy to be back.
Very happy to be back. I missed this. I missed it.
Yes, we are bringing just great radio to the airwaves here. So we have not really had your thoughts, Packers. Like, you've chimed in a little bit. You've done the pot, but you've had time. Obviously, you have your picks and the Potawatomi thing and everything like that. But, like, this season, honestly, you could kind of take a little victory lap on maybe Goody a little bit. Remember, everyone was on you for, Goody's this amazing GM, and this team is on their way to another Super Bowl, and this is the greatest thing ever. Just some victory laps you could take. Well, like, I know it's a little bit past, but I do got to get your thoughts on, now we're a couple weeks out, the Chiefs playing the Super Bowl. Where are you at this NFL season for the Packers?
I mean, I think my one word to describe it is just disappointing. Like, there was never a point this season that I felt like, oh, wow, this team is gaining momentum and they're getting better and they're going to win. Like, I went into every single game, even against the Chicago Bears, which they ended up losing to. Like, I went into every single game being like, it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. Like, it really felt that way, where compared to the season before, it was like, okay, Jordan Love was on a roll for those last however many games that you kind of felt like there's something here. There's something building. But this year, I just never felt that. There was never any consistency. There was never, like, a whole game being played on all sides of the ball. Like, I never felt confident in any game. Did you feel that way, Matt?
I mean, there was. I'm trying to think of which game I thought the Packers had a pretty. The fact that I got to think about it like this.
Yeah, but even that, it was like they had how many players out? Like,
it was kind of early in the game. I thought they had a solid, well-rounded game against the Cardinals, but then the Cardinals turned out to be frauds at the time. I think they were like 4-0 or 4-1 or something. And then obviously the Saints game, but the Saints were kind of meh. Actually, they weren't meh. They were bad. So I was like, that probably is the product of a bad football team, and the Packers just looked competent, where the Saints looked completely inept. So, like,
the Lions game ended up being good, but it took them until the second half to be able to do it.
Right, and that's kind of was my beef with LaFleur all season. Is he had these seasons with Rodgers where it felt like every opening drive we'd go down and score a touchdown. At the very least, would be in field goal range and kick a field goal. We looked abysmal on that opening drive almost the entire season. Like, without looking at it, I'm willing to bet that they had less than 10 points scored on the opening drive this season, which it seems crazy to me with how efficient it looked with Rodgers. And even towards the end of the year last year and into the playoff game, I think they went down and marched right down on Dallas and scored.
Was there ever a time that you felt secure/confident in Jordan Love? Because I feel like it just felt like, I don't think it's time to panic with him by any means. Like, there's plenty of time still for him to grow, but it just felt like he was never the answer to win the games.
100%. The big thing for me, and what I kind of like, maybe it was just like my optimist hope in the background, was that the year before he had to be the guy. Like, Aaron Jones was hurt 7 games, I think, or something like that. Like, when Jones was out, like, Jordan Love had to be the guy to be the answer to go win a game. And he did a couple times. And the problem is, like, or not the problem, but, like, with Josh Jacobs being as, one, the best, like, ability is availability, and he played every single game. So, like, him kind of being the bell cow and, like, the centerpiece of the offense, I was like, we know Jordan Love has been the answer. And then I kind of was like, well, I made this argument to Jim, and Jim's totally bashed it. I was like, well, Jordan Love never had to do it. So when it got down to crunch time and he had to be the guy, the only reps where he was the guy and succeeded had to go all the way back to last year. Where this year it was rely on Josh Jacobs, and if we did get down and Jordan Love had to be the guy, we weren't able to get Claw back into the game.
Yes, and anytime
And he needed more reps. We got to let Jordan Love cook.
Please, I hope you do. I hope you do because he.
There's a stat. Every time he threw over 30 passes this season, he had a pick.
Also, he didn't. He didn't cook the way. I think there's a conflation for like Aaron Rodgers' time. Like Jordan Love didn't cook the way that even on the back end of the year he was just more efficient.
Right.
He's only had a
But that's
handful
what I
of
mean.
300
His
yards.
efficiency was still.
But he only had a handful
What
of
was it, 63% this year?
So completion percentage that we talking
61%
about that dropped.
completion percentage.
He was definitely holding on to the ball too long. Like Jordan Love was just as much of the problem as Coach LaFleur. And Jordan, I guarantee Coach LaFleur would love to let Jordan Love cook if he felt like Jordan Love wasn't going to burn the house down. So that's where the concern comes in. But 844-770-3776. That's the Carbless Talking text line. Less is more. I don't have a side limited poll question yet. If you want to chime in and say hi to Molly or ask Molly a question while we have her here, you can chime in on the.
Who's cooler, Luka or Olivia?
They both have their moments.
I already asked her that via text.
No, that's the signing limited poll question.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Let the fans decide early.
Yes, there you go.
Help Molly pick a favorite.
Which baby is the fans' favorite baby?
Yeah.
Jim, Matt, Molly. Olivia or Luka. 844-770.
Molly will honor this decision the fans make, and they will be the favorite child growing
There
up.
you go. For what it's worth, terrible twos, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible twos are terrible.
Tyson's troublemaker now.
Oh my God, he's not even 2 yet. He's 2 next month. But it is so hard. And then keeping your patience with a toddler. Oh my goodness, that's tough. That's real tough.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna get double trouble in 2 years.
Oh yeah, and then I'm gonna have a teenage girl. I'm gonna have
teenage boy at the same
time. Oh yeah,
time.
we're dealing with a 16-year-old that's speeding in his car and just
now we know
it's all the things.
Now we know why Molly's here.
Yeah.
Get me out of my real life.
He's like, I just want some guy time with my co-hosts.
Literally.
844-770-3776. That's the Carbless Talking text line. Less is more. All right, the Luka trade. So Molly's here. We're just going to do the show. It got me thinking, what is the worst trade in Wisconsin sports history? I'm going to give you some options. You can chime in, and that'll be our siding. I'm going to poll question. We're going to still crowdsource our options, Olivia, and then we're going to it's actually doing a great job picking up the mic. I at least have to reference, because otherwise people are going to think Matt's just had some spicy food. And
or I'm so sad about losing the Nationals that I'm literally sobbing here while doing the show.
Well, it's more of like a gurgle, so it's more of if you left your mouth open and your stomach's kind of acting a little bit, so be like, is Matt okay? So I want to be clear.
Just some bad indigestion.
There's a baby in the studio, in the Everlight Solar studio. But we did ask the question, what's the worst trade in Wisconsin sports history? I want to crowdsource what ones we want to make as the options for Signing Limited. Here are some that popped to mind. One, the Packers trading out of drafting T.J. Watt. Instead, they traded down, got Kevin King and Vince Beagle. That didn't work out great.
That didn't work out great.
And you could chime in with some other options.
One could have won us the Super Bowl, and the other one lost us an NFC Championship.
Do we think that Jim is going to bring up the Jordan Love, trading up to get Jordan Love here?
It is on some list, but I did not put it in there. Because you still moved off Aaron Rodgers. You could have had maybe a non-angry Aaron Rodgers for the last run, and maybe you just would have won a Super Bowl if you had used that pick to get T. Higgins and Jalen Hurts. You could have done that.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, the quarterbacks in the 2 Super Bowls. I mean, are
we? You're thinking if we got Jalen Hurts instead, Aaron Rodgers would be any happier?
Second round pick, and then you use the first round pick on T. Higgins? Yes.
I guess he'd be a little happier. He'd still be like, okay, instead of 4 fingers at tequila, I'd only have 3.
Yeah, but now you can throw the ball at T. Higgins. He might have a Super Bowl.
Yep, that's a possibility.
Anyways, the Packers.
Seems unlikely.
The Packers traded away. Packers winning the Super Bowl does seem unlikely. It's a dusty trophy. Molly, you did miss that Vikings fans, Lions fans, and Packer fans, all under the age of 15, have the same life experience as far as trophies.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Is it?
Huh.
Is it interesting? Because I didn't find it very interesting.
Hey, just let this tree up. I love the way that the Vikings finish off their season.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row losing, 31-9?
And thank you,
Amazing.
Molly, because
Me
all
being
these
sassy.
all self-righteous Packer fans are like, oh, the Bears, this is their Super Bowl. Meanwhile, Packer fans just spent the entire postseason hating on the Lions and the Vikings.
No. The best part about the postseason is dunking on all the teams that are better than your team.
Unless you're the Chiefs or the Patriots or all the other teams
you
that
can't dunk
dynasties.
on the Chiefs because they're still playing. You can't dunk on the Eagles because they're still playing.
I was kind of sort of rooting for the Lions, so count me out of that.
Oh,
one.
I was a big Washington fan that game.
That was an exciting game.
It
And
was.
I ended up being, it was kind of like one of those, I'm winning either way where I'm like, I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
But basically this postseason, every team that I've wanted to win has lost. So
I wanted the
take
Lions.
that for what it's
I was
worth.
okay with the Lions losing because I wanted Ben Johnson or at least a resolution. And so once they lost, I said, well, resolution's coming. And then my mind was blown that the Bears actually did what people thought an NFL team should do and get the number one coaching candidate. But Terrell Buckley was given away for prior considerations. And he went to some Pro Bowls with the Dolphins. The Bucs traded Andrew Bogut for Monte Ellis, but they could have had Steph Curry. Their medical staff did not trust the ankles of Steph Curry at that time, so they took Monte Ellis. It's not great.
Believe that.
it's crazy.
Trading away Kareem. Oh, they traded away the rights of Dirk Nowitzki for Robert Tractor Trailer. Rest in peace. Dirk's still
Really?
alive.
We could have had Dirk.
Yeah.
yeah. You haven't heard that one yet?
Oh my! No,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Look at the breaking news to Matt Hamilton.
Yeah.
25 years after the fact. The Brewers,
Such a German state too. Like we could have got it.
the Brewers traded away Gary Sheffield. Now, he wanted out, but still, they traded away Gary Sheffield, borderline Hall of Fame baseball player. Heck of a baseball player. Then you have the Favre trade for a conditional fourth-round pick, which allowed him to play one season for the Jets, make his way to the Vikings, go 12-4, and get to the NFC Championship game. If he won a Super Bowl, it's one of the worst trades ever. He was on the precipice.
You're right.
Pro Bowl.
And Jim, I will be honest, I was completely channeling my Bears hate that time. Like all those fumbles by AP and that last interception by Favre were so sweet as a Packer fan.
I love still watching that.
Oh
that
my
highlight.
gosh, it makes me so happy to this day still.
This one was interesting to me. The Milwaukee Bucks traded someone named Quinn Buckner, who honestly you might know more as a broadcaster, but he was like a starting player. It'd be like trading Chris Middleton for Dave Collins. Dave Collins was retired for 2 years when this trade was made. He was not on an NBA team, but someone held his rights. And Don Nelson, the coach of the Bucks at that point, convinced Dave Collins to come out of retirement. So they traded a starter for a player who was retired for 2 years and brought him on.
What did he do
stuck him
in
on the
his
rest of-
career? Was he like good during his playing career?
He was a good player, but I mean, you stayed
Yeah.
for 2 years.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
You traded
just
away
the
a starter
NBA,
for this.
Jim.
Yeah. I just find that one hilarious. The trade for a guy who was retired for 2 years. And then we had a late edition. Drew Holiday Dame trade.
That one stings.
yeah.
Gave the
But
Celtics a title.
Exactly.
Well,
That's the
I mean,
biggest.
we didn't know Portland was going to turn around and just trade him in an hour.
You couldn't have been shocked by that, though.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't. But yeah, he went from a Portland jersey to a Celtics jersey in like 3 hour time span.
Yeah.
He might not have even ever got on a plane to Portland.
But if the Celtics didn't win the finals last year, I don't think that would be so like hurtful. You know what I mean?
I mean, they
But also
still
it stinks
made it to
because
the
Drew-
championship game.
True. It also stinks because Drew was such like a community person too.
Yeah.
That I think he had such an impact there. I don't know. That one's
Yeah,
tough.
that one is tough. Because I want to think like the Bucks would be better, right? If we still had Drew and didn't have Dame.
Yes.
I mean, we lose we wouldn't have Dame's like point scoring. Like he's put up 30 10 times already this year and more, maybe
Yeah.
more. Like
It's poor roster building is the problem with
yeah,
Dame.
like we needed some more point scorers outside of Giannis, and Drew, obviously more of a defensive guy, but
And honestly, paying Bobby Portis and Pat Connaughton were devastating because those are good teams. Let those guys go and you replace them with other players at cheaper salaries.
I mean, we could have let go of Pat.
Coulda let go.
Bobby's such a vibes guy.
okay, but that's a lot of money for a vibes guy. I know you're a vibes guy and you're
Yeah.
a pro vibes guy, but
Well, locker room energy is important.
you can get locker
As a
room
professional athlete,
You can get locker
as
room
a
energy.
third place national finisher. Trust me, I know what good energy you can do for a team.
Yes. Get your third
Good
place.
vibes.
Get you third place.
Matt, tell us about Metcalf's Market.
I'll tell you what, Metcalf's Market, they are first place in my heart for grocery stores right now. They have the best produce around. The specialty cheeses, whether you're looking for domestic Wisconsin home-raised cheeses or you're looking at some of those fancy French cheeses or Italian cheeses, Metcalf's Market has your back. And speaking of Italian, they've got this great Piedmontese beef. It's Italian heritage breed cow, certified, only sold at Metcalf's Market. You can call it Piedmontese, but my Italian friends call it Piedmontese. And it is only sold at Metcalf's Market at Hilldale, near West Town Mall, and in Tosa. The best part about Metcalf's Market is sign up for their Metcalf's Rewards. Thousands of dollars, thousands of deals for you every single day on everyday items that you also use every single day. So go check out Metcalf's Market and bring local home.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
Look, we all know that as we age, our bodies change, but Carbon World Health can help. They have a process of testosterone replacement therapy that includes a diagnostic exam and blood tests to assess your hormone levels to make sure that they are optimal for you, not optimal for your age. Carbon World Health can help you increase your energy, focus, and overall health with their approach to hormone therapy. It's all about quality of life for you. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more. It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Monday nights this football season, huddle up for the Great Dane Huddle, driven by Janesville Kia.
And I'm not a Super Bowl party guy. I want to watch the game. So,
okay, I like that.
Because I've been to those parties. You don't watch the game. Everybody's wearing you out, and your head's on the swivel. You're not doing everything but watching the game. I like to watch the game.
The Great Dane Huddle, driven by Janesville Kia. Mondays at 6 on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Come see what the buzz is all about at Madison Axe, Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Enjoy 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard with 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Perfect for date night, groups, corporate meetings, or private events. Madison Axe is your destination for all things fun. Throw it, nail it, celebrate. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
I'm one day away from home, a week away from traveling. I'm living on the road, so studios. I'm relaxing and official with. You can tell by how I handle it, so I be killing it. Map, I'm in, I'm back again. Just
telling Matt Hamilton that everyone else's kids are always good for other people. As Molly Brown was in the Everlight Solar Studio, she is back to being mom. She's out again with babies. She's still technically here, but she's walked out, so I'm guessing she's done for the day.
Yeah,
she doesn't have to
that's
say
a
goodbye.
lot of work for someone who's still on maternity leave.
Absolutely, we appreciate
Not
her.
everyone can bounce back into it like I do.
She was literally just
You're on
on
maternity leave?
maternity leave.
Okay.
She was literally just on the show for longer than you were all of last week.
But I was here too, so.
You also
True.
how to put,
No,
did not.
I was on for a 15-minute segment last week.
She was just on for 23 minutes.
And you didn't birth life.
Fair. I can't, Jim. I literally, physically cannot.
Would you, though?
No, I wouldn't.
Pass.
That's hard pass for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ryan, you would?
No,
You're like, okay, I guess we're just going to have the nation's population die.
I feel like the
'cause Jim and
Packers
Matt-
looking at TJ Watt, hard pass.
Yeah, exactly. I'm more of a Kevin King
I'll just
guy.
trade back. I'll take Kevin King,
Yeah,
please.
I'll adopt in the second round.
I'll take 2 dogs instead of birthing a human.
Yeah, there you
life.
go. There you go.
Thank you. That's basically what the Packers did. They said, we can have TJ Watt. No, I'll take 2 dogs. Kevin King, Vince Beagle. Terrible football players.
Yeah.
Kevin King remarkably
Beagle
better
was
than
a Badger, though, so I liked
but
it.
Kevin King's remarkably better than Vince Beagle as an NFL player.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just really liked the, someone from Wisconsin. The Badgers got onto the Packers, which I feel like the Packers, actively avoid Badger players.
Well, because apparently they ruined their career. Jared Abadaris, who wasn't going to be good anyways, but, he was on the Packers. Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge with you. Ryan, why did you give me a look? Primetime Wallershine.
Jared Abadaris, Packers legend. Come on.
No.
He caught the back-to-back Hail Marys. He's going to go down in history.
Like Rudolph?
Yeah. Yes. Rudolph is an iconic Christmas hero, just like Jared Abadaris.
He's not essential, though. He's just kind of if it's foggy, so if there's Hail Marys, you go to Jared Abadaris. If it's foggy, you need Rudolph.
Very similar.
Because
yes.
I watch plenty of Christmas movies. He's not really in them.
If the other, if 11 of the other reindeer had all been injured and that's why Jared Abadaris was playing, then yeah, it would be the
But side
same
note,
thing.
do you ever notice all the movies that come back out, Rudolph's never in them as one of the reindeer?
What do you mean?
The Santa Claus. They have all the reindeer except for
I never
Rudolph.
see. I might think
No, Rudolph is always in
Tim Allenton. I'm not watching it, but
Fair.
I would say
When it came out, you might
Christmas
have been like,
Chronicles.
okay.
No, he wasn't good in Home Improvement. Christmas Chronicles, those 2 movies with Kurt Russell, Netflix. There's no Rudolph in it.
Well, then it's not a Christmas movie. They messed it
I'm
up.
saying that, but to his point, if Santa Claus is that, most of the movies don't have Rudolph as one on the roster.
I'm saying Jared Abadaris should be on the all 2010s Packers team. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, and this is, please tell me it's true, because this honestly makes me happy on so many layers. The 262 chimes in and says, I think that was Jeff Janis.
No, it was. Oh my God, it was Jeff Janis. That's right.
You're
right.
Oh, God, I can't.
That was
Jeff
Janis.
Abadaris. Oh.
I mean,
So, which
truly,
one?
It is hard to
So
get
who's
him.
going on the all 2010s team now?
Still Abadaris.
Jeff Janis or
No,
Abadaris?
still Abadaris. Because he's a Wisconsin guy.
Prime, I couldn't have asked you to set something up more beautifully than you mixing up Jeff Janis and Jared Abadaris in your head.
Yeah.
So isn't there
trying to make an argument that one of them was an all 2010? That was pretty good.
Well,
I wish
they're
I
the
would have came
same
up with it.
guy.
Isn't there 2 of the reindeer? One's Comet, one's Rocket. Aren't they
No.
same name? That's Jared Abadaris.
There's not a rocket.
I know there's not a Rocket, but I know there's 2 of them whose names.
What
rhyme.
are the reindeers?
I'll look them up. I will get to them next segment.
We are so far past Christmas. Let's get to it in 10 months.
You think we're going to remember it 10 months? We're not going to remember this in 10 minutes.
Yeah. So basically, long story short, let's move on.
844-770-3776. Call in and give us the reindeer.
Donner and Blitzen for sure are my favorites.
Cupid? What? No.
Comet.
Move on.
Cupid. Donner and Blitzen. That's Cupid
Okay.
is one. So that's 4
On
of the
Dasher
8.
and Prancer.
Donner
on Donner
and-
and Vixen.
Is it Vixen?
Vixen's an aggressive name for a reindeer. Why are you calling your reindeer Vixen?
Good looking reindeer.
If you got a
good looking reindeer, Jim.
If you got another dog and it happened to be a female dog,
Vixen.
you're like,
Done.
Hey, hon, I think we should name this one Vixen.
It's already a done deal. I'm doing it.
That's an aggressive name for a pet.
Yeah.
Vixen.
Vixen.
It wasn't a pet. He was a piece of livestock.
Still, I wouldn't want a cow or any other animal named Vixen.
It was a working animal. It was like a service dog.
Yeah, livestock.
How many animals do you think are named Vixen?
Probably some reindeer. I bet there's some reindeer on some farm
Not as
somewhere.
many dancers.
That would be a good question.
There are absolutely more dancers
Name Vixen. Yeah.
than animals. The show's just back. We're back, baby.
Yeah.
Molly Brown comes back
Just
in and we're back.
revived us.
Yes. Get into the show, 844-770-3776. Honestly, Ryan, that was my favorite moments ever.
You're welcome.
Mixed up Jared Abadaris and
Yeah.
Giannis.
I'm glad I could do that for you.
I wish you knew how to clip it because Ryan's going to delete that and it's going to be gone from the archives forever.
No, he holds himself accountable.
Yeah.
I only do it when Matt makes a point. That's a good one. I just
JJ
delete all
Poinette
those.
says it was Vixen because it rhymes with Blitzen. Sure, Santa. Sure, that's what his answer to Mrs. Claus. This one's named Vixen? Oh, yeah, it rhymes with Blitzen.
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
What
Miss
else?
Claus?
What else rhymes with Blitzen?
Nixon?
Well,
That's
I think you'd
also
rather not do
aggressive.
Nixon.
Still better than Vixen.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, Vixen never lied.
Norm Nixon,
Nixon
from the
got
Lakers.
impeached from the team.
Norm Nixon, yeah, for Rudolph. Norm Nixon from the Lakers.
It was ruined after the other Nixon.
Yeah.
Never go back.
Oh, we just can't do names anymore?
You
Certain
can't do
names are
Nixon.
just cooked?
Yes.
Oh,
quite,
some names
yes,
are cooked,
actually.
Jim.
I know.
There are some names that are completely cooked.
I'm well aware. Look, if you want to get into the best shape of your life, go to Carbon World Health. You can ask them about GLP-1s. You don't just go with some fly-by-night, like some places were anti-GLP-1s until they're like, oh, wait, now we can make some money off them. Now we'll start promoting them. No, Carbon World Health was in front of it. Why were they in front of it? Because Dr. Nestor Rodriguez is always looking for the safest and best ways to make sure that you can reach your fitness goals, whether it's training, whether it's recovery like cryo and red light therapy, whether it's GLP-1s or hormone optimization. Dr. Nestor Rodriguez and Carbon World Health will make sure that they will have the best treatment plan for you. Go to carbonworldhealth.com. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
There's a ton of new faces joining the Wisconsin Badgers volleyball team. Head coach Kelly Sheffield joined Jim, Matt, and Molly, and he explained just how new this entire roster is.
Carter Booth is the only person on our team that has been through our spring. This is Charlie's first spring. Mm-hmm. This is everybody else on our roster's first spring here. And so, Charlie was kind of talking about today's practice is a little quiet. It's as they're all trying to get a feel for each other.
Get Pella windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit Pella at the Neary Spring Home Improvement Show February 14th through the 16th.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely with no drugs or injections, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, or exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can lose weight quickly and keep the weight off for good with an easy-to-follow maintenance plan that includes ongoing personal support. And our program costs half as much and works up to twice as fast than most other programs. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation now.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Madison Weight Loss is the real deal. I was able to drop 40 pounds simply by changing what I eat. This program really works. Schedule a free consultation to see how the program can help you achieve your goals at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Ordering pizza for game day can be a tough call to make. Do you get a pizza or are you craving some wings? At Pizza Hut, there's only one right answer. Get both. Introducing Pizza Hut's original stuffed crust and wings bundle. Get a large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings with 2 sauces for only $19.99. An unbeatable value that can feed the whole crew. Perfect for game days, family nights, or any gathering. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every U. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Val Richardson, Madison East High School. Welcome, Val.
Hey, thank you.
I got to ask you, you scored 47 points in a game back in November?
Yeah, that was the second game of the season.
And it was against Madison Follett.
Yeah.
So you got Eastside Pride. Was that a biggie?
Yeah, our rival team, I have to. You got to lock in for that game.
When you look back in your time at Madison East, being a Pergolder, what's that going to mean to you?
Definitely being a Pergolder just means like putting in that work and definitely representing the colors, the purple and gold. That's really stood out to me, and just being like a good person, a good teammate, having a good personality.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
When you've been seriously injured, you'll need a team with knowledge and experience to get the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I can be loud again, Matt Hamilton, because the babies have left the building, but Matt Hamilton is still here.
Well, yeah.
Our favorite baby, Matt Hamilton, is still here.
The man baby.
The man baby. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. We're live from the Everlight Solar Studio. You can watch us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. Primetime War Shine Behind the Glass. Chrissy Birdsall in the Everlight Solar Studio with us as well. You can chime in on the talk and text line, the Carbus talk and text line, 844-770-3776. List is more, and you can answer our Signing Unlimited poll question, which we want to ask you, and maybe we should maybe give them some options, but initially we're crowdsourcing at Jim, Matt, and Molly. What is the worst trade in Wisconsin sports history? I think maybe we should post this at ESPN Madison. But before we get to what Matt missed, what do we think our 4 options should be? Is it now the easiest way to do it, guys? I think would be just the straight up trades. So trading away Gary Sheffield, trading away Kareem, trading away the rights for Dirk, and do we put Dame into the mix?
I think that Matt brought up good points as well. Gary Sheffield and Kareem, like they both asked out, so I don't know how
So you don't
bad
have to
those
vote.
trades were.
But I mean, otherwise we're getting into ones like you passed on so-and-so, so they're clean cut. You don't
Well,
have
I don't
to vote
think we
for them.
have to. I mean, we have.
We
them
traded back out of TJ Watt.
Yeah, but that's a little more convoluted. Like for a
there's
poll
a trade.
question at Jim, Matt, and Molly, like or at ESPN Madison, I want it to be clean. Like just don't
Okay.
vote for it. Like if you don't think Kareem or Sheffield, I would love the conversation.
I thought
on
the
it.
Terrell Buckley one was interesting for the Packers too.
All right, we could add trading Terrell Buckley. We can have a Packers one in there. And then I would say for the Bucks, we can do trading away the draft rights to Dirk. Trading for Dame.
I think trading for Dame would be an interesting one.
And then if we don't want to do Sheffield, what would we do? Trading out of TJ Watt's draft spot?
Trading away Ray Allen.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too. There you go. A lot of Bucks ones.
Yeah, it's
Not
the
the
Bucks,
best run organization.
Yeah, up until that one guy got there. Yeah,
And honestly,
Antetokounmpo.
Giannis, if we're all...
I'm going to delete that drop. Like, it is gone.
Oh, if you knew how to work computers, man.
I know.
Your life would be so much easier.
That
But
thing's getting dropped.
the Giannis one was a educated shot in the dark. And that's still because the following year or a couple years later, they tried it with Thon Maker. It didn't work. Like, you just kind of one of those, like, which was super smart. Like, I applauded the Bucks when they made the Giannis pick. I didn't think it would turn into Giannis, but I was like, this is what you want to do when you're picking, like, 12th or 13th. Like, you just roll the dice.
Yeah.
Because why not? You're not going to get a star, and if there was nobody there that, like, looked like a surefire, we're going to be a good player, so why not just take the shot and just go for broke? Now, with Thon, they drafted Thon Maker instead of Sabonis, and they could have had Sabonis and Giannis together, and it'd be a pretty good team.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah. All right, let's get to what Matt missed.
Oh no, we didn't have time for. I thought we were catching up with Matt first on where things were at.
I don't care. He already told us. We're gonna do what Matt missed, and then if we had time,
I gave you like a little synopsis, but I could get into more detail if you want, Jim. We'll do what Matt missed first. It's streamlined now.
Yes.
Well, it was streamlined when we were still on the clock. I agree.
Oh, gosh.
You guys are radio hosts. You guys can speak on the air,
Yeah. Well, I thought, are you just not ready for it? Is that what
That
this
is
is?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I thought
just
you
tell
took a
us.
hint.
Yeah. All right. Well, I didn't know how long it takes. So, anyways, Matt Hamilton, why don't you tell us about Leinenkugel's?
So I definitely missed the good old Wisconsin beer while I was in Minnesota. Leinenkugel's, especially like when you have this beautiful view over Lake Superior, like I had, and even though it was cold, but on the sunny days, really giving me beach vibes. I was vibing that juicy peach from Leinenkugel's. Such a delicious beer, but they also got the summer shandy. There's the fantastic Leinie's Original and the Lakeside Cherry. If you're into good Wisconsin beers, check out Leinenkugel's. They have different like beer mixes that you can do. You can mix a honey Weiss and a berry Weiss and make yourself a little honey bear, and so many other ones. Like, trust me, check out Leinenkugel's. Go get yourself a variety pack and start experimenting, because when you add Wisconsin beer to Wisconsin beer, it's better than the parts of their that go into it. So check out Leinenkugel's. Get it wherever you get delicious beer. You got to be 21 years or older and enjoy delicious Leinenkugel's beer.
All right, let's get to what Matt missed.
Context is important,
Oh, man.
except when you're an Olympic gold medalist.
Honestly, I have no idea who it is. Here we go, yo. Obviously, he's talking about, maybe...
It's time for What Matt Missed on Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Leinenkugel's. Flavor the moment.
All right, Matt Hamilton, and as you are the Bucks fan that you are, and we're talking about trades here, we got to catch you up on some of the NBA trade deadline news that happened over the weekend. More so, not the news, the reactions. We all know about Luka being traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. Even Matt Hamilton's not under that deep of a rock.
No, not this time.
When you found out Saturday night, where were you?
In bed.
You were in bed?
Yeah.
Did it shock your senses or anything? Send you through the roof?
No. I was definitely a little surprised. It seemed like the Lakers absolutely fleeced the Mavs, and I was surprised that happened. But other than that, I was just like, oh, this is like the biggest trade in the last handful of years for the NBA. Pretty surprising.
Might be the most surprising trade in NBA history.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised.
Well, there were a lot of people trying to rationalize it the night of. So, Matt, let's see if you can guess who this first one is. Few people on a podcast, an emergency podcast the night of. Let's see if you can guess who it is who's talking in this one.
Even if they had some sort of crazy insights to his terrible diet habits, some sort of physical issues that maybe they're only aware of, I still would offer him the Supermax. He's Luka Doncic. Made the finals last year.
No doubt.
I
he
just
could have been
don't
smoking
understand
cigarettes,
this.
Bill. He could have been smoking cigarettes, bring the ball up the fucking court, and I would still be like, when can we sign you to the Supermax?
Yeah.
By the way,
Matt, who was that?
I literally have no idea who that was.
Well, okay, Matt doesn't listen to the Bill Simmons podcast very often, so I don't blame him.
Apparently, he's not like an old school ESPN radio listener.
How old school would he have to be? 2016?
Within a decade, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
SVP and Russillo. Scott Van Pelt and Ryan Russillo. You not know who Ryan Russillo is?
No.
He's blank. He's fully blank.
Now, I know SVP. I'm aware of. I actually met Scott Van Pelt once, so. Very tall person.
Same. Multiple times. He
Yeah.
used to actually come to with Ryan Russillo, and they did events here at ESPN Madison.
He's surprisingly pretty down to earth for being
SVP?
big time. SVP,
Yes,
yeah. I was
absolutely.
actually pleasantly surprised. Sometimes when you meet people that are big and famous, they treat you like they're big and famous.
No, SVP.
Yeah, SVP was
And
real.
anyone will tell you that. Like,
Yeah.
anyone that's come across him.
I really thought Matt was going to be like, he's surprisingly down to earth for a guy that tall. I didn't think he'd be so humble.
Man, that would have been funny. I missed it.
Would
Sorry.
have gotten you. Would have gotten you. All right, we're moving on from the Kawhi laugh. There's somebody else who's possibly going to be getting traded here sometime soon, Matt Hamilton. Jimmy Butler, possibly in the works. Let's see if you can guess who this is. Speaking about a possible Jimmy Butler trade.
We all are looking for a professional home after we retire. He will not have one at this point, which is sad. Relative to what the latest is in terms of the trades, where obviously Shams Charania has reported the Suns and the Warriors. Those are the teams that have heavily pursued him. I will not ignore teams like Memphis and Milwaukee in a last-minute kind of, oh, we can get him for just this, do we consider it type deal.
Matt Hamilton, you ever heard that voice before?
Yeah, that's Chris Canty's co-host, Evan co-host. I mean, Evan Cohen.
Matt Hamilton very proud of the new Evan Cohen Open for anyone who missed it last Thursday. Much like Evan Cohen, who actually didn't hear it when he joined the show.
Well, maybe you'll hear it this Thursday, because I'll actually be here, too.
Oh, well, this Thursday he's not on, Matt. He was on last Thursday.
Oh, we don't give him every week, do we? I'll text him. Maybe we can get him on.
Okay, thanks for. You know what, Matt? You're gone for a week. You come back. You're starting to help book guests.
Yeah, I'm that good.
All right. Well,
I literally have a ton of free time now.
Actually, we do have a few guests asked Matt to book, I believe. So
that'd be fantastic.
maybe a former or current, maybe former 49ers tight end, George Kittle. Maybe he's got something to promote on Super Bowl Radio Row. Maybe he'll call in. Your good buddy. Talk Super Bowl.
Yeah, I could fire a text.
There you go.
Okay. All right, Matt Hamilton firing off
Going
the DMs.
into the old Rolodex for that one.
All right. Well, speaking of DMs, there's somebody else who's talking about the DMs surrounding the Luka Doncic trade that happened Saturday night.
In your mind, when you pull the trigger on it, I'm just curious what convinced both of you that you will not be wrong.
Well, let's be clear. I'm the one making the decision, and Jay's supportive of it, so it's me. And I'd like to give Rob Pelinka a lot of credit. You know, trades, you guys have been around here. Trades don't happen at the smallest level without stuff getting out. And Rob and I were able to have, you know, really intense conversations over the course of, you know, 3 or 4 weeks that started out as a coffee that, you know, was more, hey, would you ever, I don't know, would I? Let me think of, you know, and then it built upon that. And, you know, we kept it between us. We had to keep it tight. J Kidd didn't know about it, but J Kidd and I are aligned, and we talk about archetypes, and we talk about the culture that we want to create. So I know the type of players that he likes without actually talking to him. Hey, would you like, you know? So I know that, and J Kidd coached them when they won a championship. So
Matt, who's that talking about J Kidd and making the trade for Luka without telling anyone, even the head coach of the Mavericks?
Oh no, was that
Jason Kidd? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's the coach of the Mavericks.
Yes, who he's referencing.
Yes.
Okay, that's coach of the Mavericks. Right.
Did you not know Jason Kidd was coach of the Mavericks?
Wasn't he like in LA for a minute?
He was an assistant coach, yes.
Yeah, so
He also coached the Bucks.
Oh, I do know that. So basically, while that was going, I was like, I don't know either GM of either team, which I imagine that was the GM of one of the two teams. So I Googled them both and already forgot who the Mavs GM was.
Well done. Well done, because nobody in Dallas will ever forget Nico Harrison's name.
Nico Harrison.
They're currently starting Twitter accounts saying Nico Harrison is an idiot. They're currently doing funeral ceremonies outside of Dallas Airways Center or whatever it is. It's bad in Dallas, and Nico Harrison is maybe the most hated man in Texas.
He's trying to build a culture, isn't he?
So Nico Harrison, and this has been like put out a few different places, apparently was so bad at his job at Nike, he maybe single-handedly lost them the Steph deal when they were trying to get Steph Curry. He even kind of admitted that he accidentally called him Seth a few times, and Stephon Curry, and they honestly just took basically an old PowerPoint for Kevin Durant and swapped it out for Seth Curry, but it wasn't even fully. It was Steph Curry. It wasn't even fully swapped out.
You lost the deal too, Jimmy.
Yeah, it wasn't even fully swapped out.
Really?
So like, it was one of the most.
There's still like pictures of Durant
or like Kevin Durant's name in it. This is, you can imagine how it was. Like one of the worst screw ups. And they also never offered him a signature shoe, and Under Armour did. So Nico Harrison not only single-handedly maybe kept Steph Curry away from Nike, Steph Curry single-handedly kept Under Armour relevant. I mean, they're not anymore. But then also then trades away Luka.
Brilliant.
He is brilliant, man. He truly is.
Man, I mean, I don't understand how you had the year you did last year. You were able to go through the T-Pups, and then you were able to take down the Nuggets, and you got to the championship literally riding Luka's back. And you're like, we could do this with an older AD.
I was going to say, they just believe in the health of AD's back for some reason instead.
Yeah.
For whatever. I mean,
crazy.
So, on that, I mean,
it blows me away.
How much do you think I'm not defending this trade? That's why. So I don't care if Luka was smoking cigarettes, bringing the ball up the court.
Yeah.
And there's been some post-game stuff where he's drinking a beer and they've kind of taken away from him. How much do you think an athlete who is 6'6" in the NBA should weigh?
6'6"? I mean,
is he even bigger than 6'6"?
I thought he was 6'6".
I think he's like 6'8".
I give him like.
Fine, 6'8". I don't even know.
I don't know. This should probably be like 250. You could back people down at that size. You can still move if you're that big. Like,
I see him at 6'6", according to
Really?
overview here. Yeah,
I always thought he was way bigger.
he is bigger.
Wow.
6'6", 270, 275. Like, he is out of shape. I'm not defending the trade, but Dallas.
Could there be a chance that he wanted out and does what Harden does and just goes and lets himself go, and then when he gets to the place he wants to be, just hits the gym really hard? And
Chandler Parsons, former Dallas player, said that Luka had just purchased a home for $15 million in Dallas and was actually in tears when this trade happened. Like, now if you're Dallas and you want to believe your team, the Dallas Mavericks, but again, just the idea of.
Do you think it was him like having to have a beer taken away, and the fact that he is
here's what Dallas
a little
is trying,
overweight?
Here's what Dallas is trying to tell people.
I really don't care how big you are. If you can put the ball in the hoop and still make other people look silly, like he put up 70 last year.
So the thought is, and I'm not defending it, but Dallas is trying to spin this through media, is that basically they thought Luka would turn into James Harden. The idea that he's just going to be out of shape and never reach his potential. That as he gets older, he's only 25, he'll turn 26 here soon. As he gets older, he will age poorly, and they had to be on the hook after the season to sign him to some sort of deal that would have been like $350 million.
Right.
Now, the Lakers aren't on the hook because he's not the original team. So now if they want to sign him to the max that they can sign him to, it's like $250. So they have less of a commitment. The Lakers just lucked into they've lucked into Kobe. They've lucked into Pau Gasol. They've lucked into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Shaq. Yeah, they've lucked into it's gross. Even Wilt Chamberlain. Yeah, Philadelphia. It's just gross what the Lakers been luck into. But that's what that's what Dallas is trying to sell. That either it's James Harden type career for Luka in the future, or Joel Embiid, where you're always going to be hurt, and they want to be on the. I think it's a stupid decision.
Though, a James Harden career, like the guy he's a really good basketball player for a long time.
Right, and honestly, the Luka comp would have worked because James Harden arguably could have been a top 5 NBA player at his peak, and he's still.
Didn't he win MVP?
James Harden, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you wouldn't necessarily call him. He won it that year, but.
I mean, he was a court tilter.
That's what I'm saying. Top 5 is court tilter. So top 5 player, Luka, top 3, top 4, 5, probably top 3. Maybe Harden was there, but the Harden kind of slowly slid down. Now even his worst, top 25. And
Right.
so, to your point, I'd still rather take a guy who is 6-7 years younger than Anthony Davis, oft-injured Anthony Davis, over trading away. Like, I would take Luka over Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
and the fact that they didn't call anyone else. You see reports out there, the Golden State's literally calling every team about their star player, being like, hey, you open to trading them? And Dallas made one call to the Lakers.
Well,
Dallas,
if you're the Lakers, I would be like, don't call anyone else. Give me 10 minutes to try and figure this out.
But it's a horrendous trade. Like, Dallas should have called someone else. It's not a good trade.
Shop it around.
So let me ask you this question, hypothetically. And you can chime in on 844-770-3776. Carl was talking text line. Would you have traded Giannis for Luka?
I don't think you can because, for the reasons you're talking about, Giannis is a grinder off the court. We saw how, gangly he was when he got drafted and has done nothing but put on mass and maintain this Greek god physique. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah,
The Greek freak. And I think his longevity is going to be better. You're right about that. But Luka, man, I do think on the right team, maybe with a guy like LeBron who's put so much emphasis on keeping himself in playing shape and to be top 10 in the NBA still?
Giannis?
Yeah. No, LeBron.
LeBron, I don't know.
He's close. Top 15?
Yeah.
Right? To be his age and still be able to make that claim, who knows? Maybe he can light a fire under Luka. That might be a great spot for Luka to figure it out and have the longevity that I think that LeBron has, and maybe Giannis will be able to achieve with the way he's been able to just continue to be a freak of nature as just a human being.
Yeah, I wouldn't do the trade, but I'd think about it.
Oh, I'd certainly think about it.
Luka's 25. Giannis just turned 30. Giannis turned 30 in December, I believe, and Luka turns 26 in February, I believe. 4-year difference?
Yeah, so, I think I stick with Giannis, but, you're definitely thinking about it. You're kicking the tires on both, trying to decide.
Prime?
Giannis, that's Antetokounmpo.
I'm keeping my guy.
Yeah.
Are you keeping him because he's your guy?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And because I just don't think that I don't know. If you trade for Luka, you extend your championship window by another 5 to 10 years probably. I just think that the odds of them being able to win right now are good enough where I'd want to stay all in.
I have no faith the Bucks are winning anything.
Fair, but I think trying to rebuild and re-gear everything around Luka just after going all in as they have, I don't think they have the assets to build around him in the future.
I agree. The only case to be made is that because of Luka's age, you could reset.
True.
Giannis, it's hard to reset.
It's also the question of, does Luka like living on Lake Michigan, or would he rather live on the Pacific Ocean?
That's the difference. Well, again, he was in Dallas, Texas.
I think Dallas is a step up. Even no offense to Milwaukee. Milwaukee, I love.
It's still Texas.
It's Dallas.
It's still Texas.
Okay.
Luka is European. He's not that. Chicago's a huge. It's not that far away from. And Milwaukee, you're not that far away. That's a European.
I think he would have just
community.
went and signed with the Lakers.
Oh, I don't think Luka was going anywhere.
Well, no, but I'm saying if the Bucks traded for him, he would just leave and sign with the Lakers.
That's the real. So in this imaginary world, Luka wants to stay. It makes more sense.
Or if he wants to stay full, he wants to become a Wisconsin resident, cheese curds, the full thing, he would love. He would love it here.
Because honestly, that's my.
And we wouldn't take it away from him in a post-game interview.
Right. We give him endorsements.
Look, he's one of us.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's just we'll ponder that a little bit more. We'll come back, talk about the other side. This is Jim Matt Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center Update brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. Well, some Packers news earlier this afternoon, Packers lost Anthony Campanelli, former inside linebacker coach, to the Jaguars already, and Jacksonville poaching some more Packers defensive assistants as they hired Anthony Perkins as their new secondary coach. He's a former co-DC at Oregon State who spent 1 year with the Packers, overlapping with Campanelli before heading down to Duval County. Together this offseason. Head over to ESPNWisconsin.com for more news, notes, and updates about all things green and gold this offseason. Speaking of which, possible trade rumors for the Green Bay Packers as Cleveland star edge rusher Myles Garrett requesting a trade earlier today. Could the Packers be landing him? Plenty up in the rumor mill, including for the Milwaukee Bucks. There's some pressure on the Bucks as there's been plenty of trades over the weekend, including Luka Doncic headed to the Lakers, Zack Lavine headed to the Sacramento Kings. Do the Bucks make a move for Jimmy Butler? Stay tuned to 100.5 ESPN as we take you up to the trade deadline this Thursday.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's gonna swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We got Homer, Matt Hamilton.
Yeah.
We have
Pessimist Molly.
No. Realist.
And then Contrarian.
Total. Yeah.
Jim Rutledge here.
It's Murr.
I'm the problem. It's
Mister.
Could it be possible you guys are the best show in ESPN Wisconsin, the whole state?
Yeah, obviously. It's
possible. Anything's possible.
You're the best.
I mean,
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. Matt Hamilton. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Coors Light.
That's right, Matt Hamilton back in the building. Molly Brown was here for a segment earlier, so you can listen back Wisconsin on Demand, Apple, Spotify, any of those great places. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass, Chrissy Birdsall in the Everlight Solar Studio as well. And we got a couple different poll questions going on here. Maybe we could throw the other side of unlimited poll questions, and you can chime in on them. At ESPN Madison is on Twitter. Otherwise, you can chime in 844-770-3776 on the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. What's the worst trade in Wisconsin sports history? You can chime in with other ones, but 55% of you said trading Ray Allen. 35% of you said trading Dirk Nowitzki's draft pick. Nobody's voted for trading Terrell Buckley, and 10% of you voted for trading for Dame. And I would like to throw up a question, a second one. This one at Jim, Matt, and Molly. Would you have traded Luka Doncic or traded Giannis for Luka Doncic?
Giannis, that's can't pull it.
I'll tell you what. Fans would be crushed, obviously, Giannis is gone. Luka would be embraced. Luka would be embraced in the area, without a doubt.
Well, yeah.
A Slovenian basketball player who loves beer and loves to eat. Honestly, it probably would have ruined his career. So maybe that was a smart move. Like, Milwaukee might have ended his career. If the rumors and reports are true about Luka's lack of conditioning, love to eat and drink beer and such, that Milwaukee might have ended him.
I mean, I really think a lot of that is just Dallas trying to spin something that's been taken so poorly.
Well, he's always been a play in the shape guy. Like, there's been from the beginning worries about his conditioning. Like, he's more of a, I'll show up And
No, I
throughout
agree
the year,
with
I'll
that.
play
But
in
like
shape.
when a guy can go out and drop 70 on a team, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Like,
Yes,
I'm
I
not
agree.
going to argue with the guy.
I agree.
Hey, what you're doing's not working, bud.
Right.
Like,
I mean, as Ryan Russillo
He get
said
MVP
on the Bill
last year,
Simmons
or he was definitely in the
podcast, Luka could be bringing the ball up with smoking a cigarette and he doesn't care.
Was Luka the MVP last year?
Honestly,
No, he was not. I believe Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was. I believe. I could very well be wrong. It might have been. Oh God, the other European from the
That
Western
was
Conference. Jokic. Yes, thank you, Chris. You're trying to get in my ear there.
Yes, it was Jokic. You're just getting your Europeans mixed up.
Well, I mean, it wasn't mixed up, but he was definitely in the.
He carried
got
his team to the NBA
votes,
Finals,
and he got votes for the MVP of the league.
Luka is one of the top 3 players in the league. Right now, I would probably say, who's the best player in the league?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard much about Joker this year. I'm sure he's good. But
I would say Jokic, Giannis, Luka, Tatum, and then after that, there's a handful of guys who are great. Most people take on the team.
Once again, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. In that, absolutely. So I mean, like there's a lot of talent in the league, but I think Giannis is still top. I think Giannis is still top 2, and I think Luka is probably 3 or 4, depending on what you think of Shai. So, regardless, the 5-year trade-off I would have considered. I still would keep Giannis. He's athletic, he loves the city. But if you're the Bucks GM, you're at least like, well, tell me more. Like that's at least a conversation. The Bucks, honestly, outside of Victor and a few other players, if someone called the Bucks and they said, "What about Giannis?" You'd click.
Yeah, for sure.
Luka's not an instant hang up. Victor's not an instant hang up.
No, you're definitely going to hear out Wemby, right?
You probably hear out Jokic too, to be honest. Hear it out
for sure.
Have a conversation
for sure.
Yeah, there's a few that you hear out, but most teams you're just hanging up. Like if the Bulls called and said Giannis, you just hang up. You got nothing.
Nothing we want.
As soon as you saw the Chicago area code, you just ignore it.
True, because there's just nothing in the coffers there that you'd be like, Well, no, because the Bucks could have used Zack Lavine.
Oh, that's good.
So they have to at least say, who are you interested in?
Yeah, and then as soon as they say Giannis,
hang up.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's Giannis is essentially you're never trading him for much of anything. And I'm going to say this in like 2 days. He's going to be traded for like 17 first-round picks.
To 2040. Give you a first in 2040,
and John Horst
39,
is gonna tell us
38.
about all these high school kids they drafted. These guys who barely could hang on in random leagues we've never heard of. And like, hey, in 5 years, when this guy's 22, we're going to be good.
We're going to be super good.
Let's go.
How's Marjan doing this year?
They can't give him away, literally. They are trying to trade him so bad.
The Mavs actually called with the Luka trade, and the Bucks offered back Marjan.
And they turned that down.
I can't believe it, right?
Unbelievable.
Honestly, the way that Dallas does business, the Bucks missed out not trading Dame for Luka. You want like an old, talented player?
Yeah, but they have a shooter. They needed a big.
I don't know what Dallas was doing. They had Luka and Kyrie and went to the NBA Finals. So.
No, totally. I don't say they're wrong, but like you can't get rid of your Luka and then be like, yeah, we'll take basically an older version of Kyrie.
Yeah, instead we're like, we got. What can we take an old, broken down center who played the most amount of games in his career last year and it was in the 70s? Yeah, that guy.
I will say, looking at the responses to our Citing Unlimited poll question so far, it's pretty split on whether or not the Dame trade was a good one. The comments, at least, the replies, some saying, why is Dame even on here? Or why is Dame even on here? And others saying that Dame was the worst pick. Or the worst trade, I should say, for all of Wisconsin sports history.
How is it not at all in the conversation that the Bucks screwed up that trade?
It's in the conversation.
Even though Dame is a great player, the Bucks kind of screwed that up.
I mean, I don't think we're in that much better of a position with Holiday.
Wins and losses, they are worse than the way we're with Holiday. With essentially the same team.
Like, people were, like, our players were younger. Giannis was younger. Chris was younger. Like, I'm saying if Holiday was on the team right now, I don't know how much better the Bucks would be.
Well,
right? Like, it ended up being you traded a guy that's going to help you avoid points or avoid the other team scoring points for a guy who's going to help you keep up with the other team scoring points.
I know, and I like the trade at the time, but looking back at it, I mean, Drew was also, to your point, vibes. Like, he's the locker room leader.
Yeah.
Dame is getting $54 million this year, $58 million next year. Drew is averaging $30 to $37 million.
So maybe you get another piece.
Maybe. There's $30 million in there, yeah.
20.
You trade the corpse of Chris Middleton, and now we're cooking.
I mean,
all respect to Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
But
who's not playing tonight?
Of course not.
Well, in his defense, neither is Chris Middleton or Dame or Giannis.
Great.
Or Brook Lopez.
Great.
No, Brook's questionable.
Who are they going to run out there tonight? Marjan's getting some time tonight, baby.
Actually, Matt, you have to leave.
yeah. I got to get to Milwaukee.
Could you imagine, Matt? Do you think Matt could even get a shot up?
No.
In a half quarter?
If it was a half quarter and no one was, and they were picking me up at the top of the key, I could maybe hit one from like half court.
Victor would block it. Have you seen some of his blocks? Like, he would get there and block it. The block he had on Dame against the Bucks just this over the weekend. That ball, I swear, was 15 feet in the air, and Victor went up and got it and just swatted it away.
I mean, the guy's got to be 10 feet, 11 feet tall. You throw a little jump in there, he's getting pretty close to 15
and he's got, like,
feet.
cat-like reflexes. I mean, honestly, like, I wonder how, like, between both of us, but, like, how far away Victor could be from us and us try to start a shot and him still be able to block it.
Ugh.
It'd be pretty far away.
Be humbling is what it'd be.
Yeah, I mean, more for you than me because I know I'm not athletic, but you're an Olympian and like
yeah, I like to live under the guise of an athlete.
You're an Olympian, but like obviously it's different. I mean,
yeah,
it's an
winter
alien.
sport. Yeah, winter sport
on ice.
On ice, I bet you I could slide circles around Victor Wembanyama.
I feel like he'd pick up that pretty quick too, though.
I don't know. I don't think being tall is an asset in curling. He's about as tall as
curling. Yes, you said on the ice. Like I thought you meant like.
Oh, I said slide too. I was insinuating curling.
Gotcha. Yeah,
we
curling.
don't skate.
Yes.
We
you
slide.
would kick his butt in curling. Yes.
But here's the thing: he would at least like luck his way into some points. I don't think I could luck my way into like in a one-on-one game. I don't think I'm lucking into any points.
If he wanted
he could get lucky and throw a stone and land in the middle and be like, "Oh, scored."
If he wanted to, you would probably never even get the ball onto the ground. Like when you tried to dribble, he would just grab it. Like you know what I mean? Like as you turn to go, you'd be like, "I'm just gonna take that." Me too. Like
100%. I'm agreeing with you. I
like the Giannis would be the same.
Yeah, they'd probably humor you and let you dribble a little bit. Honestly, they'd probably be more interested in trying to like completely block it. So they'd probably give you this feeling that you're
like
open.
a toddler, like when you're going against your dad, like a pump, wham!
Yeah,
just like that
stuffed right back into me. That'd be rough.
844-770-3776. Would you have traded Giannis for Luka? And we are asking you, what's the worst trade in Wisconsin sports history? Some people getting worked up that Dame is in the deal. You don't make trades to, at best, be a net zero. Like, at best case scenario, the trade had zero impact on the Bucks. But it had a massive impact on Boston because Portland then immediately, like, if you couldn't foresee that happening, a la Danny Ainge, did you see the reports that Danny Ainge apparently was unaware that the Lakers were the other team in this trade and that Luka was going to end up on the Lakers? He would not have facilitated the trade if he knew that was the case. But anyways, the John Horst had to be aware because it was being predicted, like as it was happening, that Drew could make his way to Boston, that he had to be aware that that was on the table.
Yeah.
So even if it was a net zero
with
for
how
the Bucks,
fast it happened, there had to have been some rumors.
So even if it was a net zero on the for the Bucks on paper, like their actual roster,
the fact that he went to an Eastern Conference team that
made them a champion.
Yeah.
I mean, Drew Holiday on that team was the difference for the Boston Celtics. His defense, his leadership, all of it.
Yeah.
Chalmers Jewelers is Madison's custom jeweler. They have two locations, one in Madison, one in Middleton. Family-owned jeweler, custom jeweler, whether it's engagement rings, wedding bands, fixing jewelry, watches, any of those things. Go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. Madison's custom and Madison's family jeweler. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
One word captures why so many businesses choose to do business with James Imaging Systems. Local. Local business technology. Local support. Local accountability. Listen to James' client Daniel Bertelson, RE/MAX Preferred CEO.
James Imaging is one of the vendors that we use to move all of our documents and set up networks and utilize their equipment for scanning and storage purposes.
Local support works for James' client Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance.
Yeah, things happen. They can come out and fix it and leave us to what we're needing to do.
Jennifer Wilger, Purchasing Manager with Baker Manufacturing, likes the local accountability from the James Imaging Systems people.
They're an absolutely wonderful partner for us. They go above and beyond.
Local business technology, local support, local accountability. Get it all from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Hey, it's John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. Come in and discover the high standards, classic traditions, honesty, integrity, and elegance when you walk through our doors. For over 90 years, customers have returned again and again to our warm boutique setting. Trust me, because I've been there for over 40 of them. Whether it's time to come back or your first time in, stop by Goodman's Jewelers at 220 State Street today. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new to you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Greg Scalzo here for Buck and Honey's. Looking to impress your sweetheart this Valentine's Day? Take them to date night at Buck and Honey's. As a multiple-time award-winning restaurant, Buck and Honey's is the perfect spot for a romantic getaway or a memorable celebration. You'll enjoy delicious food, handcrafted cocktails, and exceptional service, making this Valentine's Day one to remember at Buck and Honey's. Make your reservation today at one of 4 convenient locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, or Mount Horeb. We'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Ain't shady, baby, I'm hot like the prodigal son. Big up Bartolini, meeny, money, mo, and flower, you're the chosen one.
Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. Matt in his Cream City hat. Are you expecting the Milwaukee Bucks, Matt Hamilton, to make a move? Do they need to make a move?
Like you said, they kind of drained a lot of their assets. There's not a whole lot of assets that the Bucks have that people are like breaking down the door to try and get outside of Giannis. Like, we're kind of stuck for a little bit. We kind of have to ride this Giannis and Dame and Chris Middleton experiment out because we traded away a handful of first rounders to Portland. Like, I just don't know how set up we are. Like, you talk about a full-on rebuild if we got Luka. What do we have to rebuild with?
Look, forget even the rebuild. Like, they don't have not to get too much into it. Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge. We're live from the Light Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. It's the Bucks with the apron and the salary cap. Like, they can't add salaries to like match another player. Like, they have to trade. Like, basically all they can do is if they trade Chris Middleton, they have to trade him for another guy of the exact same salary, which means you're trading for someone else's distressed asset who maybe is a little bit healthier. Maybe that's Jimmy Butler. Maybe that's Kyle Kuzma. And we can talk about that a little bit later. The Green Bay Packers are not in the news, but the Browns have been informed by Myles Garrett that he wants to be traded. Now, reports out of Cleveland says the Browns are not necessarily running to abide to this sort of request, and maybe they'll try to work it out. But Packers names, at least Packer fans have floated it. And I want you to chime in, 844-770-3776 on the Cardinals Talking text line. List is more. Aside of the unlimited poll question we're going to throw out there, another one. I don't know if we're putting it at Jim, Matt, and Molly or at ESPN Madison. We're just throwing it out to our listeners. But the question is, would the Packers, are they more likely to make a trade for Myles Garrett or make a trade, I would say significant trade up in the draft? Like, what do we think as a consensus? I want to do this thought exercise. Do we think it's 3 first-round picks to get Myles Garrett?
How far are you allowed to trade first rounds out in the NFL?
Enough. They can do 3.
You can do 3.
Yeah.
Man.
This year and the next 2.
Right. The way Goody holds on to his draft picks, like I can't really see it personally. I think I would to take a proven player like Myles Garrett. He's under 30. He's probably like 27, I would guess. Like, I would think that would extend this window that we're looking at for the Packers as far as
Myles Garrett is 29.
29.
He'll turn 30 during the season.
And Max Crosby is, because he's the other defensive end that you would want.
But there's no smoke to Miles. Max Crosby is more of like, oh, why would the Raiders keep him? Myles Garrett is saying he wants to go. So Crosby, right. There's only smoke created by like, why would the Raiders keep him? They are a bad team. Mm-hmm. They should move off of him. That's a little bit more conjecture. Myles is saying he wants to be gone.
I mean, still 29. You got to think he's got 3-4 more years of solid football in him. Like,
yeah, it doesn't change what you're saying.
I don't know. It's one of those moves that it kind of like, other than the Jordan Love pick, this is going to define Goody as a GM. Right? Like, if it works out, you made one of the smartest trades in Packers history.
Defensive player of the year.
Yeah. If it doesn't work out, you gave up 3 first-round picks, like sabotaged the future of the team for a guy who's 29 years old turning 30 that season, right? Like, there's a little risk reward that needs to be played. I can't see Goody doing it because of the way he structured this team and the fact that there might be, I think, our kicker's the only one over 30 on the team. Like, I can't see him doing it.
No, I agree with you. Phil Wanakee says, give Cleveland 3 first-rounders. Goody can't draft in the first round anyways.
Dude, super good point. Very good point. But
if I'm not mistaken, you're arguing the Packers won't do this, not that they shouldn't. Because
exactly.
You can poke a lot of holes in the Packers' plan.
I would love it. If I'm the GM and they called me up and they're like, hey, we'll take 3 first-rounders for you for Myles Garrett, I'd be like, done. Say less. I'll send a contract over.
What do you think is more like, or they trade up? Let's just say, all right, they're not going to get Carter, Abdul Carter.
I said that they trade up into the top 10 of the draft.
Okay, so they're not going to get Abdul Carter. He's going to be number 1. So that would take probably 3 first as well. But I'm just looking at ESPN.
But that's an unproven guy. Even for that, I don't love the
contract, and the Packers can't pay anyone now that Jordan Love's contract's starting to hit. So looking at Matt Miller's mock draft on ESPN. I'm trying to think here. I think I saw So Jalen Walker, an edge from Georgia, he's mocked at 8 to Carolina. So let's just play this out. But the Packers probably have to give up this year's first and next year's first and maybe like a something in the later rounds this year
Yeah,
to move up
like
to
a
8.
fourth or something.
Third. I don't have
whatever.
I don't have the Jimmy Johnson, but regardless, it would be a pick swap and another first at a minimum, plus maybe a second or third rounder. Probably something pretty high, depending on what year. If it was this year, it's probably like a third. If you did next year, it might be a second. Usually a little flexibility on that. So Jalen Walker, I mean, all right, just looking at this, he had 6.5 sacks at Georgia. That's Goody's favorite place to draft defensive players from.
It is.
Felt like Green Bay to me.
Loves pressures, 29 pressures. Pressure. 7 TFLs. And the question would be, like, he's a freak of nature. He has versatility and speed off the edge. This sounds like Rashawn Gary.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a guy who could be that future game changer that you'd have on an affordable contract for a while. So, like, that would be the guy. In theory, based off
Here's
mock
the
drafts,
thing.
you'd trade up for that.
This guy has done fine at the college level.
I'm
to
not
be
asking what you
top
would
10.
do. What do you think Goody's more likely to do?
Goody's more likely to move up in the draft and take a rookie and take someone who's young that he can mold and build into the player he wants or hope that he can. I can't say he never takes players because, like, we went out and got Jacobs and we got Xavier McKinney this year.
Yeah, but draft capital he doesn't do.
But draft capital, yeah, he does not screw around with draft capital. He loves to make picks.
It's so valuable. Let's hear Goody.
So Brian Gutekunst at his end of season press conference talked about the value of draft picks and possibly trading for players this offseason. After you hear this, let's see what you think about, it really enforces what Matt Hamilton is saying.
What's your philosophy about trading a really high pick for a player?
Better be right, because those picks are, I think, and I'm assuming you're talking about a player, like a veteran player, right? Yeah. When you trade a high pick for a veteran player, you're trading a young, really good contract for a player who's proven, but probably expensive, so you're giving up a pick in salary cap space. So I think you gotta weigh that, and if it's the right player, if you feel he can be a dynamic player that can change your football team, I think you got to consider that because there's not many of those guys out there. But I think you have to also understand what you're giving up,
There's like a player on every single football team that is a dynamic enough where you would take them and they would change your football team. I think every team in the NFL has a player like that you'd be like, oh yeah, I'd trade a pick for a proven player.
Myles Garrett, 2 years, or obviously not this last season, but the season before was basically the MVP of defense.
Yeah.
He is still 29 years old. He changes everything. You know who's more effective? Rashawn Gary. Like, Rashawn Gary is better at football if Myles Garrett is there.
Well, hold on. Let me ask Matt Hamilton something. Do you do this trade if it's 2 first-round picks and Rashawn Gary?
Done. Done.
I thought he's your guy.
He is my guy.
The pressure king.
Pressure. Cleveland, honestly, and I don't mean this just to rip on Rashawn Gary, because of that contract and lack of production, if they were going to do it, it'd probably be more like Lucas Van Ness, because, again, on a rookie scale deal.
Would you do that?
2 first.
Yeah.
2 first and Van Ness. We probably have to give up something else in there, too. Like
Let's go.
Like a third round, whatever.
I think Lucas Van Ness would be like, I get it.
Yes. Rashawn Gary, it's just a matter of, like, if you're Cleveland, you really want to move off a contract.
To pick up another big contract
Who's
from
not
a guy
as productive.
who's not as productive, yeah.
Yeah, you'd assume if
You
Cleveland...
get some first rounders, though. So
yeah,
you get some,
but you'd rather have the younger player in Van Ness and say, like, you know what, we get 2 first rounders, maybe an extra pick in there, and we get Van Ness that we can maybe try to fix. Get something out of.
Yeah. Myles Garrett is, like you said, 2 years ago he was arguably the best player on defense in the entire NFL. It's to not go for someone who's proven like that, and to have the hubris to think, especially with your track record of first round picks, that you could find someone as good and then use a rookie scale deal, or maybe not even as good, but even comparable, is a little it's crazy. I think he overvalues draft picks when maybe he thinks it's like the easy way out, picking up a proven player from somebody and then taking the contract on. I get like a little bit of Aaron Rodgers vibes from Goody. He thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, and when he makes comments like this on how, like, sure, you better be right, and that was a little bit coach talk, but like, I feel like you're overvaluing first-round picks. Lots of first-rounders turn out to be duds, or at the very least, just average NFL players, where you're hoping every first-round pick you get is a guy who could be a Hall of Fame candidate, right? Like, that's the hope.
So, speaking
and you
of,
haven't nailed one yet.
Yes, I agree. Speaking of the Packers pass rush, so I was this morning on PFF.com. They did a mock draft. So I was like, what are the, I'll check with the Bears, I check on the Packers, some, Vikings, Lions. Like, what are some Chiefs? Like, what are some team? Like, what are they mocking here? So they have number 23, the Green Bay Packers, Nick Scorton, Texas A&M, a defensive player,
of course,
an edge. Although, and this is the part that was interesting to me. Although the Packers finished top 5 in sacks during the regular season, they led the NFL in unblocked sacks, raising concerns about the sustainability of their pass rush. Have you ever, and that's the part that stood out at me. Have you, and then I'll say this, among Green Bay's 4 edge rushers with 150 or more pass rush snaps in 2024, only Rashawn Gary posted a double-digit pass rush win rate. So, have you ever in your life heard the term unblocked sacks as like a stat or something to track?
I have heard about it. It's more recent, like within the last 2 to 3 years.
This was new to me.
That makes me think that it was a little more scheme-driven than...
I think that was they played the Texans and the Titans who couldn't block.
So
for sure, but like those are obviously blown coverages, right? Like for the O-line. But like
so
I attribute some of that to scheme.
Well, they don't. So they would say that is much like turnovers. Like turnovers, you can't roll over year.
Well, I agree. It's unsustainable. Like,
right. So like the idea
people
is
are going to figure out Jeff Halfley too.
It's not a scheme. It's that you had to blitz. So it's an indication that your team blitzes more than normal, and that's why you have so many. And having to blitz to get pressure is not the way to get things done.
There's
so
there's
it's
two
an
sharp
indication of a
edges to
team.
that sword.
So basically, it's an indication that your front line, your defensive line, is not getting it done, winning, and to the point, and it's backed up by Rashawn Gary was the only player on the defensive line that had a positive win percentage or a double-digit win percentage rate. So that says that obviously Rashawn Gary didn't get enough sacks, but at least he got some pressures. Nobody else was doing their job, and so then Jeff Halfley had to blitz.
Right.
And so that's why you give up 30 points to the Vikings and 30 points to the Lions and 30 points to the Eagles twice. I mean,
and you get 9 sacks against the Titans and you get 7 sacks against the Texans.
Let's go.
Correct.
So, but yes, it's the idea of if you have that many, it's because you're blitzing a lot. And you're blitzing a lot because you can't get pressure otherwise.
Yeah.
You get sacks otherwise.
And that's why you go and get a guy like Myles Garrett, because he is going to beat his guy and not just get pressures, but he's going to get the sack as well.
Rick and DeForest chimes in, worst trade ever, trading Devontae Adams.
Oh, wow.
That's a good one.
We should have put that on the list. That would have been way better than Terrell Buckley. I'll be
more
honest.
relevant. The Terrell Buckley trade is pretty horrible, but it's a long time ago.
I don't think
if
anyone
you trade away a
remembers.
Pro Bowl player for past considerations, a player that goes on to go to multiple Pro Bowls for like, he just solid back in the day. You can take him.
I will say, only 0.8% of the respondents agree with you right now. Or that it's the worst.
Nobody knows. I don't think anyone. Also, Terrell Buckley. Just a quick side.
Wait, that was your vote? You voted?
No, I didn't vote for Terrell Buckley. But Terrell Buckley has one of the most, like, compared to who he was to what people think of him, the biggest disconnect.
When did he play?
He was a high pick against Florida from Florida State, and he played. Well, I'll give you all the information on the other side, because here's the thing. People crapped on him because he wasn't Deion Sanders, but he was a very good corner. And people just lost their mind because it's like, well, we used a high pick, and then it didn't work out. We got throwing stones. Maybe we'll get to it a little bit later, because I also want to talk about the Grammys. Poor Drake. This is Jim, Matt, Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hi,
Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely with no drugs or injections. No prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, or exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can lose weight quickly and keep the weight off for good with an easy-to-follow maintenance plan that includes ongoing personal support. And our program costs half as much and works up to twice as fast than most other programs. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation now.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Madison Weight Loss is the real deal. I was able to drop 40 pounds simply by changing what I eat. This program really works. Schedule a free consultation to see how the program can help you achieve your goals at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Outside in. That's what we call our Siding Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the stuff defending the outside of your home against Wisconsin's weather displayed inside. Many siding options and colors, plus full display of Pella windows and patio doors, and roofing too. Wisconsin's own Siding Unlimited, 4-time National Pella Platinum Premier Contractor of the Year and proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, awaits you inside our showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. SidingUnlimited.com.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Professional volleyball is coming to Madison this January. Featuring Olympic medalists Lauren Carlini and Annie Drew Schumacher, Love Madison Volleyball is Madison's newest pro team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 17th at the Wisconsin Fieldhouse. Visit lovb.com for more information and tickets for Love Madison matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Yeah.
Should have come back with I don't know if there's a radio. Is this song playing on the radio? Not this one, but the "Not Like Us" by Kendrick Lamar. Is that I don't listen to terrestrial radio outside of like sports, so ESPN Madison and ESPN Chicago.
Terrestrial instead of alien radio,
but it's
oh my god,
that's what it's called, right?
No,
yeah, you're right.
You're right. It's just such a funny way to AM FM
terrestrial.
Take me to
You're
your
being
leader.
Extra. That's what you're being.
Take me to your leader, Jim. I would love to listen to some of the radio you're getting.
This guy, afraid of, gets mad at big words. Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge with you, live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. And we're going to get to throwing stones. But wait, you didn't answer the question, Ryan. You're the terrestrial guy.
I'm the terrestrial guy?
Yeah, you look like you listen to a lot of terrestrial radio.
I listen to 100.5. That's about it.
Chrissy, do you listen to terrestrial radio?
In New York, I do.
So
back in my hometown, yeah.
Is Not Like Us on the radio?
No, they would never play that on the radio.
Okay, I mean,
way too many curse words.
There's a lot of song, like a lot of really, a lot of bleeped, and, things like that. So I didn't know if they cleaned it up and put it out there. So it's funny that a song that is, like, the equivalent for me is "Hit 'Em Up" from Tupac, which is a pretty aggressive diss track. I don't even know if I could say the Ice Cube one. It's no Blink, no Blake, and so you can kind of guess what that one is. So, like, again, an aggressive song. didn't win Grammys. Neither one of those won Grammys. The fact that Kendrick Lamar won a Grammy for that song is insane. So let's get to Throwing Stones.
Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
That was cooler than being cool. Ice cold.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out.
I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
All right, Jim Rutledge, you got some minor stones to throw today. What do you got for us?
A minor one. No, it's not even necessarily a stone. I just enjoyed the Grammys last night. I guess I have a stone to throw at Kanye West. But I would say Beyonce winning Country Music Album of the Year made me very happy on many levels. And then she won a bunch of other awards. The performances that I've seen so far have been good. My girls are very excited, so we're going to go home. When I get home tonight, we'll watch some more of them. We saw Sabrina Carpenter and we saw Billie Eilish. The performances were very dramatic. They were almost like live videos where they weren't just on stage singing a song, and Sabrina Carpenter was doing kind of an old vaudeville act and kind of having some fun with it, and Billie Eilish was on some sort of weird cornfield thing, but at least it was visually appealing.
Benson Boone had like the 60s jumper.
Yeah, and I haven't gotten to that one yet, but Chaperone looks like she blew the top off the place. But Kendrick Lamar, I don't know if anyone's won a musical battle. I don't know any non-fisticuff battle that's ever been won by anyone more than Kendrick Lamar. Because one, you put out this great rebuttal, this back and forth between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And then the song gets nominated for a Grammy. And then you win a Grammy. And then everyone in the building which is full of musical artists, are singing along to the words of your song and chiming in with a minor, and if you know, you know, singing it all together. You got Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, Beyonce, all of them singing it. And you collect, I think, 3 Grammys for that song over the course of the night. And then, Matt, how many people, 50 million people watched the Super Bowl?
What?
No, I think it's more than that. I think it's closer to 100 million.
100 million. So 100 million people, and then however many at Super Bowl, are all going to be saying a minor, including minors, at the same time. Like, Drake just needs to blame tariffs and never come back from Canada. And just be like, I'm tariffed into Canada. I can't ever leave.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would try and reboot Degrassi at that point.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be an actor again.
Start selling Sprite, and you started from the bottom, and now you're back there.
You're back to the bottom.
Yes. It was, it was pretty brutal. But also, Kanye West, what are we doing? He wasn't invited to the Grammys, showed up with his model wife, and had her unveil, she's naked. I don't know what you would describe the clothing on. There was something over her clothing.
Yeah, it was essentially like
what?
The same material that like hosiery's made out of, right?
Hosiery, I like it. I guess. I don't know.
Isn't that what it is?
Honestly, at first, when I
Fancy
saw...
hosiery, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that.
I like it better than the way Matt said it, I'll be honest.
That's why I said it better than that. No, Ryan.
Yeah. It's what Ryan wears when he's out in the evenings. Over his head. Just
Over his head. Take that how you will, people. Look out!
Listening to Drake. So, like, when we are, like, looking at this, it was obviously inappropriate, but it also was uncomfortable in the idea that why is Kanye... why would she show up naked like that? The whole thing felt, like, cultish
their whole, like,
or
outfit
abusive.
Thing
Like,
that
it just
goes
didn't feel...
on. It's so weird. Like, they wear the weirdest stuff. Like, that was obviously so
she's
over the
naked,
line. But, like,
yes.
some of the other clothes that he's wearing and she's wearing, it's nuts.
Yes, but nothing in my life has ever come close to a woman showing up naked on the red carpet.
Yeah.
Also uninvited. Kanye West not invited to the Grammys. So shows up uninvited to this and then does not allowed in. Not just because she was naked, but because you weren't invited.
I mean, sometimes your clout will only get you so far.
To the door.
To the door.
Yeah. And then he gets shown the door.
Does Kanye even have any clout anymore?
No, I mean...
I don't think he does.
He's still Kanye.
So?
But who... I mean, honestly, like, I don't... Who's riding or dying with... Like, Kanye has not put out a popular album in, like, 6 years.
Yeah.
His shoes don't exist anymore. He is basically run out of all of the world for being a pretty rampant anti-Semite. So, like,
yeah,
I don't know who's riding with Kanye anymore.
It's fair.
I'm not saying that he wasn't a cultural icon.
Yeah, some of that older, like,
He
college,
was. Yes.
college dropout,
His
graduation.
first, I think I was looking this up.
like-
His first 4 or 5, maybe even 6 albums, I thought they were great.
I even liked 808 and Heartbreak, but
That carries it through. And then it was like, basically after he collabed with Jay-Z, and then like after that, there was nothing of really
significance.
Yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't do movies. His clothing line, like that's all null and void.
Well, that's the thing is he went so off the deep end. No one wants to work with him on anything. Like he's
Right.
just,
So like
he blackballed himself.
What did you say before about Kanye? Didn't you just say it a second ago? Like,
does he have any clout?
Yes. I think not anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's still Kanye, but it's just
Not
like
nearly to the amount he had. It's basically nothing,
He's like a-
considering
you know
he
what it
could
is?
get in anywhere.
He's a relic.
You know, I thought of one too. Who has less clout now in 2025? Kanye West or Aaron Rodgers?
I thought you were going to say Drake.
Well, Drake's the lowest. We can all agree Drake is at the bottom.
Who's falling off more, Kanye or Aaron Rodgers?
I
Can we
mean,
post that as a Jim Matt Molly?
I don't think we need to get into those weeds.
It's
I don't
gotta
want
be
to.
Kanye.
You think so?
Yeah. I think so.
Probably, yeah, because Kanye passed.
Kanye's
done worse
crossed some
things.
lines that are way crazier.
But
Like,
also, like,
telling people, like everybody right now is telling you, like what you shouldn't do for your body. Like that is something that you can weed through on your own. Kanye is straight up a bad person.
Yes, and also Kanye, the heights. He passed the mom test, and like, yes, Aaron Rodgers. A lot of people knew Aaron Rodgers was, but like, if you dropped Aaron Rodgers' name and Kanye West's name in like Nebraska, or I should say like some like a hipster neighborhood in
Kanye
LA,
was probably bigger.
Yes, so like
If he dropped his name in Finland.
Like I've said this before, like for a hot minute, Jordan Rodgers could have been more famous than Aaron because he was on The Bachelor, and more people know The Bachelor. In that tiny little moment of the offseason in the NFL and Jordan Rodgers on The Bachelor, like Jordan Rodgers was a star, like passes the mom test.
Maybe.
Depends on what your mom's into. Mom watch The Bachelor? She doesn't watch The Bachelor. She doesn't know.
I don't like that. All right, let's do Matt Nye presented by
That's
Coors
twice
Light.
in one segment, Ryan.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. 20-year James client Daniel Bertelson, CEO at RE/MAX Preferred.
Reliability and consistency are the key to any successful business, and for our networking and digital solutions, they've been that right along with us for all these years.
Local reliability and consistency has also had a positive impact for Baker Manufacturing. Purchasing Manager Jennifer Wilger.
It helps keep us efficient and productive, and we can keep our minds on what's really important, and that's taking care of our customers.
And Josh Gavel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance, also depends on the reliability and consistency of local service from James Imaging Systems.
Yeah, you get somebody that knows what they're doing, come in here and get it done in 5 minutes, and we're not having to take our time to do it.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun,
Techie. Trailblazer. Stylish. Nimble. Tracks. Innovative. Electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
What makes the Pella experience so exceptional, something you won't find anywhere else? Come see us at the Nary Spring Home Improvement Show, February 14th through the 16th. There's never been a better time to experience Pella in person and get all your questions answered. Find out why Pella has the best wood warranty in the industry. Learn about our incredible design team with an ability to customize windows to match your unique home, and how our professional installers work fast and year-round. The timing is impeccable. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is now offering windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. You also have no worries thanks to Pella's 10-year installation warranty. Book your in-home consultation at the show and receive a complimentary DesignWorks consultation and Pella Care inspection. That's February 14th through the 16th at the Nary Spring Home Improvement Show. We'd love to see you there. Get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
We're going to skate to one song only.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. We're on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. Nobody's playing for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight.
So anyone betting on the Bucks tonight, I'm sorry. You should try and change that bet if possible before the game starts. Or hedge it and try and do what you can with the Thunder, who the Bucks are playing, the 38-9 Thunder.
He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. We are live in the Everlight Solar Studio. Primetime will shine behind the glass. And I wanted to talk about Terrell Buckley as a player in the with the Green Bay Packers and how he was slandered mainly because he played for the Packers 92 through 94. And Packer fans, I think, just hated him because he was the 5th overall pick and he wasn't Deion Sanders. He is currently, by the way, the head coach at Mississippi Valley State. So good for him. Doing well post-career. He played from 1992 through 2005. So, and has been an assistant coach since 2007 in mostly in college football. Actually, all in college football. And then obviously just recently a head coach. He is a Super Bowl champion. He won the Jim Thorpe Award.
Who did he win the Super Bowl with?
Let's see here.
Does it say?
He won it with the Patriots. I don't know which team he was on, but he won. It was Patriots-Rams Super Bowl. I have to look back to see what team he was on during that window there. He was on the Patriots. So he won a Super Bowl with the Patriots. And then obviously All-American. He was great in college. But in the NFL, he finished his NFL career with 50 interceptions. Including in 1998, he had 8 interceptions with the Dolphins after he was traded to the Dolphins. So with the Dolphins, he had 22 interceptions over the course of 5 seasons. He was a very good player. He basically was given away by the Packers. And Packer fans really honestly just acted like he was Tony Mandrich when he was probably, if he had played for the Packers his entire career, he very much had like an A.J. Hawk type career. Of like, good player, drafted too high. And that was Terrell Buckley's sin, because he was just drafted too high. But he was a good NFL player. I'm sorry. You don't play from 1992 through 2005 and intercept 50 passes if you're not a good NFL player.
Totally agreed. It's just funny now no one would blame the player, or maybe you blame him a little bit, but I think more of the blame lies on the GM, where back then, like you're saying, it's the player that kind of gets the blame when they're drafted higher than they're worth.
He had at least 1 interception for 13 consecutive seasons. And I'm sorry, he never made a Pro Bowl. He is one of only 2 players in NFL history to intercept more than 50 passes and never make a Pro Bowl.
Does it say who the other is or no?
Ken Riley.
Classic. Ken Riley is great.
Could there be a more generic Ken Riley? Like,
yeah.
What is
John
that?
Smith.
Like, what is that name? Ken Riley. That's fascinating. So he actually played in the year with he coached a year in the XFL too. So Terrell Buckley, you don't have to put respect on his name, but the way sometimes people have talked about Terrell Buckley as some sort of massive bust. Now, Tony Mandrich was a bust. I'll give you a bust here. Jamal Reynolds, picked number 10 overall by the Green Bay Packers, a bust. We talked about bad trades, and you can listen back, Wisconsin Man, Apple, Spotify, and those great places. You also can check at ESPN Madison for our multiple siding unlimited poll questions, including we asked what was the worst trade in Wisconsin history. Right now, 51% of you say trading Ray Allen. The the Green Bay Packers traded Matt Hasselbeck in the 17th overall pick, which turned out to be Hall of Fame and multiple pro-time guard Steve Hutchinson, to the Seattle Seahawks for Jamal Reynolds and Torrance Morgan.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
That's your point.
Hasselbeck and Hutchinson both played for Seattle when they went to the Super Bowl.
Oy.
With Mike Holmgren.
That's a tough one.
This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
See ya.